Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. Today we're going to talk about Solana and the fact that the node validators voted to restart the network. Now, I'm not really going to talk about what caused the network to go down, but I want to talk about the decentralization or centralization aspect of Solana. So the thing is, they actually had to vote to restart the network, which means they are not completely one centralized entity. The Solana Foundation does not control everything. So that's actually some good news. So you can just ignore the FUD about that. But the node operators are coordinating, so they have to coordinate, which means they have to agree with each other. A restart of the high-speed blockchain Tuesday in an attempt to bring the stuttering network back online. The validator community elected to coordinate a restart of the network and is preparing a new release that will write the frozen blockchain. So there was obviously some bug with it. Most blockchains besides Bitcoin itself, I think, have had some downtime or had some problems. Ethereum basically had an issue with people stealing funds with the DAO early on, and that's why we have Ethereum Classic and Ethereum. But Solana right now has some kind of a bug. And in Solana's Discord server, developers distributed restart instructions at 3:21 p.m. Eastern Time. The outage actually began Tuesday after resource exhaustion on the network brought blockchain validation to an hours-long wait. But the thing is, it's been processing a lot of transactions per second, but the capacity should be way above what it is right now. The on-chain activity actually froze, and that's obviously bad for trading, staking, and lending projects. So basically, it impacts everything built on Solana, but the issue is underlying layer one. So the thing is, essentially, everything kind of froze on Solana. It's been frozen for 7 hours, and they're like, well, we should just restart the network, apply a patch, and basically just get everything working again. That's great, but this also shows, I think, that Solana doesn't really have that many validators. Yes, the foundation does not control everything, but for them to actually vote to restart in such a short time period, to me at least, tells me that it's not really that decentralized. It's not totally centralized, but it's not really that decentralized. Maybe a couple of dozen, maybe 100 validators at the most. I don't even think there's that many. Remember, the entry to be a Solana validator is very, very high. The hardware costs are monumentally high. So I'm not really sure how many validators Solana actually has, but they were able to gather all of them together after only a couple of hours and have them agree to restart the network, which means that the total number of validators probably isn't that large. So it is still somewhat concentrated at the top. Maybe a party controls multiple validators. I'm not really sure, but they did actually have to take time and get a vote from the validating nodes to actually restart the network. They just couldn't do it they can't just be a dictator. The foundation can't be a dictator and just snap their fingers and be like, you know what, we're starting. So there is a decentralized governance process. However, it probably doesn't have that many players in it at this point. At least that's what I'm thinking right now, because they did it so quickly. And otherwise, yeah, Solana's distribution is still pretty centralized. And that's always a problem, but that's another problem for another time. But if you're on Solana and you're stuck, just know that they are restarting the network. They have voted. And because of that, it's kind of in that semi-centralized category right now, probably with not a huge amount of validators, but they do have to have a consensus vote. So that is the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.